On days like today, it's easy to see why so many of us enjoy being on or near water. Max and his mum Georgie love spending time in the River Chew.
I enjoy being around the water because it just helps me decompress if I've had a bad day at school. It makes me feel happy.
If you are tempted, like Max, to spend time in open water, remember, rivers and lakes can be very dangerous places where sadly each year children drown. So always swim with an adult who can help in case of an emergency, and always stay within your depth. But there is another danger that is lurking in many of our rivers, which Max is growing more and more concerned about. And what have you been noticing in the rivers recently?
I've been noticing a brown sludge, and also the water's looking quite a lot more murky and it's smelling.
What was your reaction when you heard that there were several areas around here where sewage was spilled?
It makes me quite sad and angry because it's just poisoning the water. I mean, we should be able to swim, kayak, but then the water companies are just pumping sewage into what we should be able to swim in.
A study found that up to 83% of English rivers contain high levels of pollution. But what I want to know is how this is happening. Well, it's coming from various sources, like farms and industry. But the one making the headlines right now is pollution from our own sewers. In the UK, rain and sewage share the same pipes, so if there is too much rain, sewage can sometimes be released into waterways to prevent the system from backing up. Last year, there was a record amount of human waste dumped in waterways, more than double the amount during the previous year. Untreated sewage in large amounts can be harmful to both humans and nature who come into contact with it. Take the River Chew, for example, where we currently are. There are several areas around here where sewage spillage has happened, worst of which being 1.5 miles down that way, which went on for 149 days non-stop. That's nearly 5 months, and that's a lot of poo. Max is determined to do something about it. He's joined other local people in collecting data about the river he visits. So what are you doing today?
I am counting riverfly larvae.
And how can counting riverfly larvae help us assess the water quality?
Because riverfly larvae need clean water to survive. So if there are low numbers, then it means that the water quality is quite bad.
Do you think the other nature is being affected by the sewage, and why is this worrying?
Other nature must be being affected because lots of animals depend on the river to survive, like otters, kingfishers, birds and other mammals.
We got in touch with the new Labour government, who told us,
for too many years, water companies were allowed to ruin our rivers and seas by pumping untreated sewage into them. We've told them this is unacceptable and they must spend more money to sort out their sewer networks and prevent harm to people and the environment.
We also contacted Water UK, which represents all the water companies across Britain. They said that
no one wants to see sewage in the rivers, and we propose to spend over £100 billion to reduce sewage spills by 40% by 2030.
a big argument going forward is how much companies can add to our water bills to pay towards this huge cost. And that's only to reduce spills by less than a half. For now, Max will continue his work, helping to monitor the health of his nearby river to try and make sure it stays safe for everyone to enjoy.